UNICEF says about 10 million children in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger face challenges brought about by insecurity in the Sahel region last year. The UN body says this is twice as many as in 2020.
Nearly 4 million children are also at risk in the neighboring coastal states, Benin, Togo, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. That's due to hostilities in these countries between armed groups and national security forces, which is increasingly spilling across borders. Today, UNICEF is launching a new child alert, warning of the extreme jeopardy facing the lives and futures of children in the central Sahel.
According to UN data, 3 times more children were killed during the first 9 months of 2022 in Burkina Faso than in the same period in 2021. Most of the children died from gunshot wounds during attacks on their villages or as a result of blasts involving improvised explosive devices.
When we talk about schools, more than 8,300 schools in those 3 countries, Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, are now closed due to violence and insecurity. That's teachers who fled the schools, that's children who are too scared to go to the schools, that's families who are displaced, that's buildings that have been attacked and caught up in the violence. In Burkina Faso, that's more than 1/5 of schools closed due to insecurity, actually almost a quarter now within the country.
Security analysts say the armed conflict and the insecurity in the Sahel region is getting a lot worse and at an alarming pace. And according to UNICEF, the situation has now spilled over into neighboring countries where more children have now been caught up at the center of the crisis.
The armed conflict has also become increasingly brutal. We've seen armed groups operating in ways that lead to blockades of towns and villages, and we're also seeing deliberate attacks on water points where families and children go to get their water.
UNICEF is urging those involved in the violence in the Sahel region to consider the plight of children. They want authorities to protect children and improve the key services they rely on. Wangoi Kirubi, CGTN.